All right, welcome back, folks. I'm Jake Ellenbogen. Today, we're going to be talking about Jimmy Garoppolo, the Rams' backup quarterback this season, and what I think about him. Kind of a preview, just like, when we started the series with Matthew Stafford. Before we dive into it, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Also, be sure to follow me on all social media at JKBogan. Let's dive into it. So, Jimmy Garoppolo started with the Patriots. He's 32 years old, by the way, but he started with the Patriots, was drafted out of Eastern Illinois, was actually a big fan of him coming out of college. I compared him to another guy that I believe went to Eastern Illinois. Totally blanking if he did or not. I think he did. Tony Romo was my player comp for Jimmy Garoppolo. I was a big fan of his coming out of that draft, and I really thought the Rams should be interested in him. Well, the Patriots got him. Then, of course, they had him for 3 years. They traded him away to the 49ers because, basically the whole thing that went on, Bill Belichick wanted Jimmy Garoppolo. Robert Kraft wanted Tom Brady. Robert Kraft kind of forced their hand to trade Garoppolo to the 49ers due to that. He becomes the starting quarterback. Doesn't have a ton of success until 2019, where he throws 27 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, then almost hits 4,000 yards passing and 102 passer rating. After that, injuries, happen in 2020, 2021. He throws 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 3,800 yards, and a 98.7 passer rating. And then after that, he really just doesn't ever really get back to that. 2022, 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 103 passer rating, 2,400 yards. He couldn't stay healthy. That was his issue. And then 2023, 7 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, without a doubt the worst season of his career. Also couldn't really stay healthy with the Raiders. Signs a big contract, barely plays for the Raiders, and they get rid of him. Now he's on the Rams. For those of you that don't remember, the Rams tried to trade for him multiple times back when he was on the 49ers. It never panned out, but they were interested. They got him now. So, what to make of this? What do you make of this now that Jimmy Garoppolo is a Ram? As you guys know, I'm a big Carson Wentz fan. I thought they should have brought back Carson Wentz. But I was in Florida when this move was made. I went live vertical on YouTube, and I talked with a lot of you guys, and a lot of you did not like this move. I actually like it because I think it's low risk and potentially high reward. Jimmy Garoppolo is not a bad quarterback, and I saw Chris Sims' top 40 quarterbacks, and the fact that he's not in the top 40 is insane to me. He's absolutely a top 40 quarterback in the NFL, probably one of the better 32, probably in that 32 range, so he's a starting level quarterback. But last year left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. Of course, also the cheating thing with the performance-enhancing drugs. He's suspended for the first 2 games. That's not ideal. And he is 32. It's not like he's, 26 or anything. But I like the Garoppolo pickup because the Kyle Shanahan offense, very similar to Sean McVay and what he does. A lot of, I would say, game management was used with Garoppolo, and it worked out for him. And also, no Rams fan should hate Jimmy Garoppolo. It does not matter how many times Garoppolo beat the Rams on the 49ers. He gave away the biggest game to the Rams in the NFC championship game. Now, the Rams obviously won that game fair and square, but I'm saying Garoppolo jokingly kind of threw the game away. But all jokes aside, I think Garoppolo this year, if he is thrown into the fire, and God forbid a Matthew Stafford injury happens, they can win 9 to 10 games with Jimmy Garoppolo. I have no doubt about it. And if you think that, Garoppolo for a second, if you think that he's washed and the Rams just overlooked it, if you really think that, you're not paying attention. See, on one hand, you can't say, and you can't tell me or anybody else for that matter, trust in McVay and Snead, and then on the other, not trust in McVay and Snead. They clearly wouldn't have signed him if they didn't see anything there. They've liked him for a long time. They saw the fit. And clearly, if the fit wasn't there, they would have already cut him by now. We would have already heard some things in training camp that they were going to cut him. They also have Stetson Bennett. That will be the next video. But I mean, guys, I got to be honest with you. This is a pretty low risk. You can't really lose this. And Garoppolo has won some big games. Garoppolo, when he needs to, has stepped up and made plays, and he's been efficient. The 13 interceptions is the most of his career, and he threw 27 touchdowns. He would really never have to do that. But if, God forbid, he had to thrust in as the starter, he's got all sorts of weapons: Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell, Demarcus Robinson, Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, Tyler Higbee, Davis Allen, Colby Parkinson, one of the best offensive lines in all of football. I feel really good about Garoppolo as the backup. Now, I will say, though, if Garoppolo does take a step back and that Raiders season was him falling off a cliff and the injuries have just, basically amounted to him losing his talent or whatever, then Stetson Bennett is right in that rearview mirror, ready to pounce on this job. But for the time being, I believe that Garoppolo is going to play through this season. And I think the really fascinating part is that if he were at any point to take over, he has a chance to make a lot of money for himself. This was a very heavily incentivized deal, which I think was smart. Garoppolo signed with the Rams there, and he already is getting paid all that money that the Raiders, left out there just for him not to be on the roster. So it's a fascinating little thing here. And I mean, dare I say it, I'm not going to really obviously feel this way. But of course, if for whatever reason Stafford got hurt and decided I'm done and I'm not coming back after this year, whatever, and he retires, Garoppolo could be in line to take over for the short term. This is, no doubt about it, a bridge quarterback if he were to ever take over as a starter. But I think in 2024, we don't really have to worry about too much of that. Jimmy G, in my opinion, is a very good backup, probably one of the better in the league. Can start games, can win games, can especially win games when he's got supporting cast, which the Rams have. So I'll say this: in 2024, I expect to see Jimmy Garoppolo once or twice. Probably week 18 when the Rams have already clinched the first overall seed, in my opinion. But if they haven't, then obviously he wouldn't be playing. But then the second time, I think at some point Stafford, might be a little banged up going into a game, and they just have to they have to play it safe. And I think Stafford is likely to miss at least a game or two this year. So I think getting Garoppolo, age 36 Matthew Stafford, getting Jimmy Garoppolo, I understand he's injury prone, but it makes a lot of sense, going out and getting somebody that has done it before, has played in playoff games and so forth. So I like this move. I would have preferred Carson Wentz. I thought that game he won in week 18 was really ballsy. He really put it all on the line. I don't care, that he went up against the backups, in the second half, whatever. And it wasn't just the second half. They had those guys out a little bit longer than giving credit for. But Wentz is gone, and Garoppolo is in, and Stetson Bennett is also waiting. So we're going to talk about Bennett tomorrow. But, in conclusion here, I like what you see with Jimmy Garoppolo, just because I think he fits the offense well, and he's somebody that you can continue to run the offense at the level you're running it at if you have him. You don't know that about Stetson Bennett. He's still very young. He still has not played at all in a regular season game. Garoppolo has won plenty of games. Garoppolo's thrown over 15,000 yards, close to 16,000 yards. He has a career 67.4 completion percentage, 94 touchdowns, 51 interceptions, and a career 97.6 passer rating. I know he's become a meme, but what we don't realize is that Jimmy Garoppolo is in fact a solid quality NFL quarterback. And at the end of the day, that's all the Rams really need to give you some confidence, give them some confidence, and give anyone around that building some confidence. God forbid Matthew Stafford goes down. That is the nature of a backup quarterback, and I think the Rams definitely understood the assignment. They went out and they got a good one in Jimmy Garoppolo. So those are my thoughts. I don't think 2024 you're going to see a ton of him, but obviously in a nightmare scenario, you're going to see a lot of number 11. Garoppolo is a Ram. I think it's a good move. Hopefully we don't see a lot of him, but I think if you did, the Rams win 9 to 10 games with Jimmy Garoppolo at the helm, and I think they make the playoffs. So those are my thoughts. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Obviously, by me saying they make the playoffs does not mean that I am discounting what Stafford brings to the table. The point I'm making is Stafford's worth like 4 more wins, essentially, maybe even more. But I really like what they have around. So I think that there are multiple quarterbacks that could get the most out of this team. I think Bennett could win quite a few games with this team, but we'll see what ends up happening. And obviously we hope it doesn't get to that point. So if you guys like this preview of Jimmy Garoppolo, be sure to like the video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And be sure to follow me on all social media at JKBogan. I've been posting a lot more on Instagram. While I'll have more shorts on Instagram, or reels as they call them, I'm really trying to kind of open up myself. I've been kind of quiet like my life. So people want to see what I'm doing. I post shorts, I post, pictures and stuff. So if you want to see behind the scenes Jake, go to the Instagram at JKBogan on all social media, of course. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, folks. Later. Do you love talking about the Rams, the NFL, or just want to be a part of a community? Join my free Discord server today. We're over 800 members. We got 24/7 live chat, a level 3 boosted server, the ability to call into JE Live, playing online games with us on Kick streams, toggleable alerts for when I go live on YouTube or Kick so you don't miss a live stream, and exclusive giveaways. Click the link in the description, the comments section, or the link that comes up in the video to learn more and join today.